Good morning from Hungary, Budapest. Thank you all for coming. My name is Tünde Simon Lutring. I'm the head of the Expo Network Ltd, the official Hungarian representative of Messe Berlin. And I'm the face of Messe Berlin in Hungary in all trade show related questions. I would like to welcome you, our guest and our panelists at the second edition of the Digital Roadshow of BUS2BUS in Hungary. We had our first digital roadshow in Hungary in 2021, in November, right at the end of the COVID time. Since then, we had two successful trade shows in 22 and 24 in Berlin. Now we are planning our next show, next event for 2026, where you can join us as an exhibitor or trade visitor. Expo Network is happy to help you in all trade show related questions regarding the BUS2BUS, and we are providing you with informations to be able to enter the market in this sector on an international level. Now I would like to hand over to my colleague to Zdenka to Prague and wish you a nice program for today.
Hello and very warm welcome also from me from Prague. To today's live stream of BUS2BUS Roadshow. My name is Zdenka Gedrtová. I'm the official representative of Messe Berlin in Czech Republic. Same like my colleague, I provide interested exhibitors, visitors, and media representatives with wide range of services around the whole portfolio of Messe Berlin trade fairs. To prepare myself for today, topic, I did little research and I found out that the first electric bus in Europe, which ran on a regular road, was in Czech Republic. It was in little town Znojmo since 2004. I'm very much looking forward to the following discussion about electromobility, and now allowed me to forward the word to my colleague Willow Beck-Jewett, project manager of the BUS2BUS Messe Berlin. Thank you.
Thanks so much. And welcome everybody to the first stop of our BUS2BUS Digital Roadshow in 2025. I'm Willow Beck-Jewett, project manager at Messe Berlin, and I've been with the BUS2BUS project since it first launched in 2017. And it's been really great to watch this event grow and evolve over the years. Before we dive into this live stream discussion today, I just want to take a moment to say a few words about BUS2BUS 2026 and what you can expect in Berlin for those of you who are not so familiar with our on-site events. So BUS2BUS is not only a trade show, but a business platform that really focuses on sustainable solutions and the future of mobility. This year, next year, we will be having our 5th edition of BUS2BUS on the 15th and 16th of April, and we welcome everybody and hope to see you there. BUS2BUS really brings together professionals from all different sectors. So whether that's public transport or the private bus sector, bus tourism, as well as long distance travel. And when you come on site to Berlin, you can expect to see expert panels, global speakers, and we're going to focus on topics such as the driver shortage, sustainable drives, AI, on-demand mobility, and autonomous mobility as well. We will also offer a wide range of buses, which you can experience live outside in our test drive area. So that's whether that's electric or hydrogen buses and coaches to autonomous shuttles. So we really look forward to that. The supplier industry will also be present with their international innovations and products. So if anyone is interested in becoming an exhibitor for 2026 at BUS2BUS, please make sure to get in contact with us. Our early bird offer for exhibitor is only available until the 30th of September of this year. And with that being said, I think we should get the Digital Roadshow on the road. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome our moderator for today, Anja Lange. She is an experienced freelance moderator, coach, and media trainer, and she's based in Hamburg, Germany. So thank you, Anja, for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Willow. I'm happy to be here, and welcome to everyone.
Great. Anja, before we get started introducing our panelists for today, I want to ask you a question. What was the last time, or when was the last time you were traveling by bus, and how was your experience?
It's a nice question. Actually, it was yesterday here in Hamburg. No joke. I prepared parts of this panel here today on the bus. Being a mom with a stroller, of course, the experience mostly depends also on the driver, I have to say. I actually thought about my history with buses a little bit when preparing for this event here. And I have to say, because I never owned a car, I've traveled a lot on buses in my life in many different cities, and also in Budapest already. That was 11 years ago. So I'm quite excited to see what has changed maybe since then. And I've also, like a couple of years ago, I realized the difference between like an old diesel bus and an Electrobus. I've realized that when I was living in Stuttgart, that we all of a sudden have quiet buses. And I have to say that it really makes a really big difference, especially when you're living in a big city. So yeah, that's my story with buses. I really like them from a passenger side, of course.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Anja. So I'm going to hand off the digital microphone to you, and we'll introduce our panelists and wish everybody from the participants as well as our panelists today lots of fun.
Thank you, Willow. Thank you so much. Well, as I already said, I'm really glad to be part here of this roadshow and to be moderating this discussion today. I'm excited to find out more about sustainable mobility in Hungary and Czech Republic. This BUS2BUS roadshow that brings together a panel of distinguished experts, Hungarian and Czech mobility experts, and I'd now like to introduce them to you. Our representative of the bus manufacturer, bus sales, is Zoltán Sipos. He is the CEO of Electrobus Europe from Hungary, and they are a member of the famous Ikarus group. Actually, even not being from the industry, I know Ikarus buses. And Electrobus is responsible for the sales and after-sales services of the electric vehicles. Since 4 years, he is with the company. He's an economist by profession, but always worked in manufacturing companies. And he is really leading sales strategy, but also developing new markets. Maybe we hear something about this today. So welcome, Zoltán.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody. As you presented, Ikarus as a well-known brand, worldwide known brand. So I'm representing here the bus manufacturing view. And I'm happy to be here and speaking about the most relevant topics of today's discussion.
Will do. Thank you, Zoltán. The IT perspective today comes from Tamás Móricz from Hungary. He's the sales director at HC Linear, Hungarian's leading transportation IT company. So they do public transportation solutions like digital communication system, so all electronic devices in buses, destination signs, and so on. And he has a lot of experience in the IT industry as well as in business. And his main focus is on creating customer-centric solutions. So I'm very excited to find out more about what's going on the IT side. Welcome, Tamás.
Thank you very much, Anja. Greetings for everybody. Greetings from Hungary. And this is our honor to participate on such an event as a BUS2BUS event. So as you mentioned, yes, we are a 35 years old company, and mainly we are doing hardware development, software development. We have over 70 different type of engineers who are creating different solutions. And also we have our manufacturing line where we are producing the different devices. And I'm looking forward to this event very much today.
Perfect. Thanks, Tamás. Also on board of the roadshow from Czech Republic is Renata Burdová. She is the managing director of BUSE. They develop and produce board control systems, passenger information systems, passenger counting, video surveillance, and the integration of third-party systems. And especially the BUSE vehicle LED destination systems. They have been produced since more than 30 years and they have a really good reputation, they're really famous. So Renata, nice to have you on board and to get to know more about your perspective. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Anna. It's a great pleasure for us to be here today and to have the opportunity to present the BUSE company and our 30 years of experiences in deliveries of passenger information systems. So we are very looking forward to the discussion. Hope everyone will enjoy it. And thank you for the invitation so we can be here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Renata. And last but not least, the head of the associations today, whereas Lukáš Hataš, he is the managing director of the Association for Electric Mobility in the Czech Republic. So we're excited to find out a lot about electric mobility today. They have been supporting the development of electromobility since 1978 already. This association brings together different key players from the field of manufacturers, of suppliers, operator of electromobility solutions. And they, of course, promote also zero-emission transport. And they have more than 2,000 members. So, Lukáš, I know you're very dedicated to those topics of sustainable energy and also battery, and you will be the expert for this about that in the panel. Welcome, Lukáš.
Hello to everyone. Thank you for invitation. We see that only way it's electric. That means in the future proposal, including all buses, will be electric because it's the most efficient way how to make any kind of transportation.
Already a strong statement. Very good, Lukáš. Thank you so much. So welcome to you all. Welcome to our panelists here today. You will discuss the promising future of sustainable drives, of green mobility, and we're, of course, highlighting also developments in new technology, innovative technologies like battery technology. And that's why the topic of our stream today is the future of sustainable drives in the bus industry. We will be talking about 4 big fields in this. First, the image of the bus, of course, the latest technical innovations, battery, AI, and so on, that will lead to a more sustainable form of transport. And also about the role of the government support, which is also needed, of course, to make the industry very sustainable. And in between those blocks, you, the audience, you will have the opportunity to actively participate by submitting questions, which will be answered then directly by our esteemed speakers. So I would like to invite you, the participants, ask questions. Use, please, the space provided here on the landing page. There's a little box where you can put in the questions, and I will try to include them in the discussion as well as at the end of our live stream. All right, and having said this and invite you to be very active and ask your questions, I would like to start, as I said, with the first topic, which is the image of the bus. I mean, I sometimes have the feeling that buses, coaches, they suffer from a little bit outdated image compared to other modes of transport. So I would like to know, Zoltán, how will zero-emission drives contribute to making buses more appealing to cities, but also to passengers and to transport operators? How do you think will this image maybe change?
Yeah, I'm feeling the complexity of your question. First of all, I have to outline and point out that Ikarus as a brand is highly committed to these fully electric buses. And we also participate on this transformation as the bus industry is changing. My answer is focusing rather to the cities, because at this time, as you know, that due to some limitation of the battery capacity, still we are not able to make efficient solutions for the coach type of bus industry. So my experience is based on the cities. And yes, you know, there were some time period when the public transportation popularity went down at the time of the pandemic situation. And now almost all of the places, the local transportation companies try to get back the passengers. And let's say the people who are living in the cities, if they are suffering from the very heavy traffic situation and traffic jams in the morning and during the day, then they should return to the public transportation. And we, as a bus manufacturing company, we are also responsible for the design of the buses, how to, let's say, phase out that our brand and our buses are more attractive and more modern, more clean. And this is our responsibility. But in my opinion, let's say the leaders of the cities and also the leaders of the public transportation companies, they are also responsible for making a better route plans for the passengers, and also to have the proper fleet, which ones are reliable and serving and satisfying the passengers better.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you. How would you say is the image of the bus in Hungary from your perspective?
The positive and good news that the cities where, let's say, the fully electric buses are also part of the daily operation, the local people, including everybody, including the operators, including the passengers, they are highly satisfied with them, because except some negative things, generally the fully electric buses are very reliable, very cost-effective solution, and don't forget, ultimately, last but not least, they are protecting much better the environment. And so the cities, unfortunately, in Hungary, we don't have too many cities where the fully electric buses are part of the daily operation, but where we have it, they are very satisfied with it. With them.
Good to know. Thank you, Zoltán. Lukáš, I would like to know, how is the image of the bus in Czech Republic, being from the association? I guess you know that very well. Maybe you can give us a little overview.
Definitely in the cities, and it doesn't matter which size of the cities, the bus have key role for the transportation. And if it's electric, it's the most cleanest way. And from my point of view, all municipalities have some targets in how big size their fleet will be electrified, because still there is some technical limitation. If the daily road line it's longer than 200, 300 kilometers, it's still on the edge of the technology. But we see a lot of new projects which are coming with new technologies like battery swapping or partial trolleybus. That's mean with charging during the road, during the trip. This means dynamic charging. And with all these technologies, I think we have a big chance to meet all Green Deal targets, especially in the city mass transit. That means it's very important to swap it because lifespan of the buses it's much shorter than lifespan of the private electric cars. That means if any bus operator planning buying the new coaches or buses, they have tasks with the infrastructure which should be made before they will pass by the buses, and same time he need to prepare all technologies, including from my point of view, some autonomous driving, because the future of the mobility will be mainly in the smaller buses, which will be autonomous and works like I would like to say marshutka. Yeah, that's mean some fixed road and you can hop on and hop off, because this is technologically possible solution, and we will see what future will brings to us, but there will be a lot of changes, and we are looking forward to all this, how we'll do that.
Yeah, if you would have to pick out like one key factor that will change this image and redefine really bus travel from a customer's perspective, what would you pick?
I think pick just one. It's pretty difficult, but I think the most important from the municipality way, it's the costs, because we say that the electric propulsion have cheaper and lower total cost of ownership, because you use energy efficient for the transportation, not for the heating. But sure, here is an issue, and we can speak about that later, because these big saloons in the buses need a lot of heating, and there still needs some technology which could provide enough heat, especially in the winter time, for the saloons with zero gas emissions, carbon dioxide.
Yeah, very interesting. You just remind me, Lukáš, on my bus drive yesterday, it was very warm in Hamburg, but I think the heating of the bus was on because it was very, very hot. Hopefully that doesn't happen anymore. Tamás, I would like to ask you about the biggest misconceptions when we're talking about the image of the bus. I guess there are a lot of misconceptions as well, especially regarding sustainability. And how would you say, like, which would you say are those, and how can the industry address these concerns to actually improve that image and the public's trust?
Yeah, I believe there are many misunderstandings in this field that can hinder public transport, public trust and adoption. So let's see some general examples what I can hear when I'm on the bus, because I'm usually using buses, and good to hear the passengers' voice. So they usually saying electric buses are not truly green, or they are saying buses are ineffective compared to the cars. Buses are always empty and wasteful. So they have some kind of misunderstanding of the concept. So that is why I think we need to get to this topic in terms of the data. So we need to communicate transparently to the passengers what does it mean sustainability, what are the real factual data, what are measured, and then we might can change their thinking about this misunderstanding. Let me tell you one example. Like maybe passengers doesn't know, like one electric bus or one bus can take let's say 40 cars off the road, and they don't know what are the next step if we take these 40 cars off the road. So we need to communicate to the passengers, like put some green scorecards inside and outside of the buses. And if we are talking about technology, there are many signs displays on the buses. We can educate the passengers on this displays, on the screens, or at the bus stop, bus station. So we can use not just for clearly passenger information, we can use this type of technology to communicate with the passengers. And also the other key is the data. But I think later on today we will have a topic about data, so we can go back to that.
Yeah, I really like the idea, actually, to be honest, too, because when I'm on trains, on buses, I always read the info screens, because it's just some minutes where you have time to read those, right? And why not educate the passengers? I would like to ask the opinion of Renata with this before I ask you the question about the image. What would you say about making the image better by communicating through info screens, by educating the passengers?
Yes, thank you. I absolutely agree with everything what Tamás said. I think in nowadays, in the current time, we need to mainly focus on the passengers and how very effectively, very fastly, and in a very understandable way to give those informations to those passengers, because the passengers are all of the matters in the public transport. We can speak about the great buses, we can speak about the great infrastructure, but I think the crucial part of all the public transport are those passengers, and we need more and more passengers in the cities, in the European cities. I think the level of public transport is extremely high, very great. Great equipment of all the vehicles, but we need to focus also on the weaker regions, and we need to make focus on those passengers and how to get them to the buses, to those vehicles. So I think the IT innovations and all the smart software needs to focus how to give the informations to the passengers in an understandable way.
I think that's a really, really good point, because I did say a lot of positive things earlier, but what really annoys me sometimes in traveling in cities by buses is that you have the feeling they're a little bit unreliable. You're never sure, like, if they're really coming. You don't have a good information system sometimes. So maybe you can explore a little bit more what role can smart software and IT innovations play? How can we make that even better? Like, what are you maybe working on to improve that image? Because speaking to my friends, it's exactly what they say. You know, a metro always comes on time, but a bus, of course, because it's on the road, is not that reliable, and that's sometimes a bit annoying.
Yes, thank you very much for the answer. I would divide the answer to this question into 2 points of view. The points of view of the passenger, because passengers are one group who are having the expectations of the IT software, but contrary, they are the operators. They are private or public municipal transport companies, and their expectations are differently from those IT software, IT innovations. So I think definitely these days the smart software contributes that public transport is absolutely modern mode of transport. And as I said previously, to the lines, to the passengers, all our efforts, all our developments are mainly focusing to give those passengers information, real-time traffic data in a understandable way, in the easiest way as you can imagine. Because imagine you are in an unknown place, you flew somewhere and you want to get from the place A to place B. And all you need is the information how I get there easily, without any problem of ticketing. And as a bonus, okay, if LCD displays, interior displays shows you some advertisement, it's great. But you need to know where to go, how fast, and today we have the real-time data. We have all of the data, and the only question is how to operate, how to use them for those passengers. And from the view of the public transport companies or private transporters, operators, for them, as I said previously about the expectations that are differently from those passengers. For you as an operator, you need a easily maintainable systems, because all the information systems, you must imagine it as a complex of a very smart applications, and all of these applications must be inductive, intuitive, and very easily understandable, because this is what for your staff saves time. Because you do not need to have time to read the manuals, how this application in which I need to prepare the data for the vehicles, how it works. It all must be very intuitive. For example, our company, BUSE company, won 3 tenders, public tenders in Europe, where we are equipping these days more than 1,400 vehicles with automatic counting of passengers systems, and we are getting the real-time data about the amount of the passengers in the exact time. This was also previously, but previously the operators, they had the data, the amounts of the passengers in vehicle, maybe next day. But the situation nowadays is absolutely differently, and we are giving those operators these informations now in real-time data, to make them work with those data, so they can in the traffic, the operators see, okay, this bus, this vehicle is overcrowded, and immediately the operators can react by sending the large capacity vehicle to help the situation. And I think this all makes also the passengers feel comfortable because you are not in an overcrowded vehicles. So I think the automatic, for example, the automatic counting of passenger is becoming these days an efficient tool of making all the traffic, the planning of traffic. It helps you also reduce lines to easy in an easy way to make it better. So as I said previously, also smart systems, smart IT applications, all of this helps, and the expectations from passengers and the operators are different, and we need to give them the opportunity, the solutions to satisfy both these groups.
Yeah, I think that would make a really big change, especially to passengers if you're not on an overcrowded bus. Thank you so much, Renata. We already have a question that actually fits very well at the end of this blog, talking about the image, and I would like to ask a couple of you about your opinion. So how can cross-industry collaboration, so between all of you, like between IT providers, bus manufacturers and policy advocates, help reshape the public perception of buses as a cutting edge and desirable? So maybe from the IT provider perspective, Tamás, I would like to ask you to answer this question.
Yeah, this is a very good question. Thank you very much for that. And this is also very important to how to collaborate, how to sit down in one table and trying to understand the other's aspect, what the other party needs, what the authorities needs, what they have to accomplish, what the bus manufacturer needs, what the private sector needs. So it is very, very important. And get back to the topic, if we sit on one table and discussing different issues, different solutions, we need systems where we can provide data from. And as Renata said, this needs to be analyzed on a real time with a modern and high-end technology, and make the decision based on data, and always watch the data.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. Perfect. Zoltán, would you like to give your opinion as from bus manufacturer's side?
Yeah, so if we don't work together, then it's really difficult to have a success in this transformation, because the industry is having some initiatives and goals from European Union. By 2030, we should execute something, but in the real life, it's very difficult to do that, because on one hand, if we are approaching to this topic from manufacturing point of view, obviously we have some bottlenecks, supply chain and so on. The capacity cannot be increased immediately to make couple of thousand or 100,000 e-buses. But in my opinion, the biggest bottleneck is saying about the energy infrastructure, and of course the modern technology, which ones are developed by, let's say, the other companies and other players of this industry, must be harmonized some ways, and we should cooperate, and we should have a strong direct dialogue with each other in order to enhance, let's say, our common appear in front of the potential players and political establishment. Otherwise, all of us are trying to do something, but they're not fit together, and it's even more difficult to change the number of diesel buses and all the technologies.
Yeah. Well, at least you're already on one table here. I think that's very key factor, right? To be talking about this and to be strong together. I think this is also what Lukáš would definitely say, being from the association. What would you say? Like, how can this cross-industry collaboration help reshape the public perspective? Lukáš? Yeah.
From my point of view, people are not interested in a way how it will be made. They just want to move from point A to point B. And I think the future is more technologically independent, because it will be a mixture of demand responsive transport, bus transport, and rail transport, which can fit together to achieve this one target. And this is most effective way of transport, because any mass transport have lower carbon dioxide emissions than any individual transport. That means anytime if we are able to make any way of the carpooling, including the pulling people in the bus, then we are saving energy, because the front windshield is just the one, and you are losing just the one energy instead of 10 passenger individual cars.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. I would like to speak now more about the technical innovations. I think you already mentioned quite a little bit. What are technical innovations in the bus industry? Renata, you've already mentioned some of the things you're doing. What role would you say do BUSE's intelligent bus stop systems and tracking and evaluation systems really play in optimizing the fleet performance and supporting this sustainable way of transport planning?
Yes, the bus stop intelligent system I think the bus stop systems are the way how to make the public transport more attractive for those passengers. We do give to those bus stop signs. We are giving to the passengers the real-time data. Again, all must be based by real-time data, so the passengers know exactly if there was any traffic, if anything happened, so they can make their time, organize their time based on the information they see on the bus stops. And this also helps. This also helps to them, as you can see on all of those bus stop systems. Mainly there is a bottom line, and the bottom line gives you some emergency information or any traffic informations. So the bus stop systems can also be some part of the emergency infrastructure in towns, and a lot of people are welcoming this, and we are very happy that our systems are part of this. So yes, I absolutely agree, and I see that the bus stops destination signs are one of the way how to make the public transport more attractive. And for us as a supplier, there is a big issue to deal with, how to make the administrative procedure, because you need the electricity to make them functioning. So we need to find other ways how to make them charge. So it will be very easy for the municipalities to install those bus stop signs.
I think that's really interesting what you just said. I mean, this makes really smart cities come alive, right? If we use different kind of systems and all integrated to make the city smarter. I really like that. I would like to have the IT perspective as well from Tamás now. Everybody is talking about AI. AI is everywhere. So how can we use AI in the future of electric and hydrogen bus transportation? And what does your company do? How do you integrate smart data, AI for this?
Yeah, this is a very complex question. Like, everybody's talking about AI and the different AI solutions. So, but I think in one hand, I believe that in Hungary, as well as in many countries, it is firstly essential to increase the overall usage of the bus transport, the public transport in general, so that more and more people choose it as a primary mode of travel. So I think this is a very, very important element. So in the other hand, once they are on the bus, they can use more and more sustainable Airbus or hydrogen powered bus. of course, depending on the fleet. So I think it's one of the key steps is to have people actually get on the bus. That is to ensure they can easily and quickly reach the nearest bus stop from their home or workplace. So in this point of view, among other things, flexible micromobility systems are essential for this. So let's tell an example. We are part of a European project called the MetaCase project, which is co-funded by European Union. And this initiative demonstrates how we can develop and deploy smart systems that combine electric, automated and connected technologies and infrastructures, which are enabling zero emission shared mobility services for both passengers and cities as well. In this project, there are 42 European companies, authorities, different participants from 12 countries, and we are working together on different topics to find out the new ways to achieve the above mentioned goal. So in this project, we have a case where we are working closely with the Budapest Technical University and city of Miskolc to research and develop such a mobility as a service software solution, which are using also AI, what could support the micromobility as people how can optimize their daily travel more effective and in a sustainable way.
Mm-hmm. Lukáš, in your opinion, from a Czech Republic perspective, how would you say is AI used at the moment? What is the talk in the association around AI and the future of electric mobility?
Yeah, as I tried to say in previous talk, we need to make this maximally passenger-centric. That means we need to provide the transportation service which will be easiest way for anyone. But I see that an integration of the AI have limits on the user side, because some users doesn't have the smart devices. Some users doesn't trust to AI if, for example, AI will plan their trip, including some bus trips inside the travel time. So I think AI will be a final solution for the transport, because if one system will have all knowledges about all free cars, buses on way, trains on way, trams on way, then you can really work with the real-time data, as Renata told, and you can, for example, reroute some passengers in a real time if some line or some bus is broken, and make it in easy way. That means if you have some communication device like the cell phone or some smart signs which can provide them enough information what they should do, that will be best way. But from my point of view, AI is a way how to make all planning most efficient, including the energy. That means the charging, because it's another important topic, because you have a lot of solar and wind energy, but in bad times. That means you need some system which can make predictions what is the good time for the charging, when is the bad time for the charging, and integrate, for example, battery swapping solution, which means that you will charge the battery out of the bus and then after minutes automatically swap the bus with the pure green energy charge from the solar. And for that you need smart dispatchers or AI.
So the solutions are there, but I'm totally with you. AI obviously brings a lot of challenges, a lot of misconceptions as well. So maybe we take a step back, and I would like to ask you, what would you say is then the main challenge in scaling up the e-bus operations in in your country and in the Czech Republic, Lukáš? Is it really the charging infrastructure, even if the solutions are probably there, or would you say it's the funding? What is the main challenge of electric buses?
Yeah. There is mixture. One is some funding problems, because there is still the cost of the electric buses is still higher than cost of the diesel buses. That means if the bus operator count just the buying price, then they think it's still costly. But if they will start really counting total cost of the operation, the electric buses starting to be much cheaper than diesel ones, and this is most important way. They should calculate the TCO instead of capex and opex. From my point of view, if the government will provide more efficient subsidies or programs, for example, with the renting of the bus fleets, because in many cities it's work like that. The cities are owned by municipality and they are provided to the bus operator for some time. Then it's pretty easy to find a reasonable working mode. But if you have to tender just, for example, for 5 years, it's pretty difficult to motivate the bus operator to buy the new electric buses for this case, especially if he knows that in 5 years the price of the electric buses will be much cheaper, because the battery price dropping rapidly, and in other hand, the charging infrastructure, because if you charge one car at home, it's fine. You can do it from any socket. If you are charging the bus, it's hundreds of kilowatt hours, which should be delivered in a few hours. It's a little bit different story. And a lot of bus depots doesn't have infrastructure ready for that. And especially if you see how the pricing, electricity pricing, especially on the spot market works. That means during the night time when the buses are in the depot, the electricity price is higher. Then we see that the big opportunity for battery swapping technology, because this is way how you can store the solar energy and use it in the bus, which will move another day on their daily line, because if you don't do that this way, you need to charge some big battery, and from this battery charge the bus battery, because during the night there will be higher carbon dioxide emission footprint of the electricity, because during the night most of the electricity could come, especially in Czech or Poland market, from the coal power plant, but it will be changed in few years, I hope. But still, you need to charge another battery to another battery. That means the carbon dioxide footprint will be higher than the direct charging of the energy from the solar to battery, which will be swapped to the car or bus.
A lot of potential, but as I hear, a lot of challenges still when it comes to the future totally electric buses. Zoltán, from a Hungarian perspective, I would like to be interested. What is the main challenge when it comes to electric buses and scaling it up?
More or less the same what Lukáš already mentioned. So the first biggest challenge is that in Hungary, unfortunately, we don't have the available financial funds for this bus transformation and buying and purchasing a new type of full electric buses. And this is the first challenge, because the bus operators, they are not falling in love, or even though they have fallen in love in a new type of buses, it's always saying about the financial background of the company, and although the OPEX is much better at the full electric buses than the diesel buses, the CAPEX is quite high, and therefore it needs to be motivated. And if the financial funds are available, then public procurements can be done as in other countries. So in Hungary, this is the first challenge. The second, maybe no, maybe not, Hungary is importing the part of the electricity, and therefore we cannot speak just about the charging infrastructure. We can speak about the energy infrastructure, because in different cities and different communities, the energy supply is also very low, and it needs to be developed. There are some other markets, there are some other countries in Europe where the energy supply is available in a bigger volume, and they can focus on how to speed up the charging and how to modernize the public transportation. They are having different challenges in Hungary. The first is the missing funds. Second is, let's say, this energy infrastructure. Which ones are the biggest obstacles in front of the penetration?
Assuming we would have the funds and we would have the infrastructure, maybe you can give us a little insights on the latest advances in the battery technology. What's going on there, Zoltán?
As we are, let's say, really watching out what's happening in the battery industry, because our dependency on very high on this technology changes, and generation by generations, the batteries from these manufacturers are better. I mean, they really rapidly increase the capacity of the batteries. They change the chemistry of these batteries. That may, in other words, enable to have a longer range of the buses. And also we could increase also the efficiency of the buses, because, you know, in terms of the cost, the battery prices are determinant in making good buses. But this is our business, how to manage the cost. On the other hand, if we are, let's say, placing a couple of battery packs on the bus, it makes the bus much heavier. So all in all, if the technology of the batteries are improving, they are making more efficient batteries with lower weights, then helps also the bus manufacturers to have even more efficient buses. And I would divide, let's say, the markets in two parts. As for the cities regards, I would say more or less we have a solution. All manufacturers can have some choices which type of batteries are chosen by them or by us. Here we have to pay a high attention which cities wants to develop the energy infrastructure and charging infrastructure, and which way. For example, some old cities which are having nice downtown historical monumental things, they don't want to destroy these parts for the energy infrastructure, and they are, let's say, still want to have the depot charging. On the other hand, some other cities, the bus manufacturer can make the buses with lower number of batteries, because the rapid charging is possible. There are some, let's say, available solution for pantograph rapid charging for 20 minutes, and we can manage, or the operator can manage the routes by this way. As for the regional bus industry regards, I would say still we have room for further improvements, and we are, let's say, really depends on this battery manufacturers, because as for the coach industry, is needed a minimum 600, 700, 800 kilometers mileage is not possible, or just very rarely, very seldomly. And here we need some time to, let's say, change the diesel buses in the coach industry. That's my opinion.
Thank you, Zoltán. Lukáš, I know that you also participated in several technology projects focusing on modular battery systems. So I'd like to know a bit about your insights in this chapter.
Yes, everybody from the bus operator have the historical experience that the first batteries doesn't last the bus lifespan. That means the batteries after 8-10 years could be ready for swap or ready for exchange the new ones, because the rest of the bus, especially the electric motors and this propulsion part, will last much longer, and that is my idea to make a more standard system for the batteries. It's similar like some world manufacturers, especially from China or from the US, made a standardization of the batteries to have to be able to connect the under battery during the battery. During the bus lifespan, life cycle. That means it will be nice to have some initiative, for example, with Ikarus and with SOAR and another bus manufacturer to make some standardization and start using the similar technology and don't make this kind of vendor locks with the just one battery and proprietary battery management system and locked system, and in future you need buy the battery just from us for the high price, because the battery actual battery will last really long, but with the bus operation, it means still that some battery exchange during the lifetime is expected, especially you running the operation of the air cooling and heating system, which is highly energy consuming, and it will consume more energy than the propulsion itself to heat the big or cool the big saloon of the bus. And that will be very nice if we will find the common speech about this team and make something more sustainable for the future, because if you have some bus with some system after 10 years which is not documented and you can install there on a battery, it's a little bit tricky for the bus operator, and it's much different than some repairs on the diesel engines, for example.
So I can already hear some collaboration coming in here. I would like to speak a bit more about infrastructure and policy developments, because we already touched a little bit about on this topic, but would like to continue. But actually, no, sorry, I see before we do that, sorry, I saw there is one question coming in which still touches on technology. And I would like to ask Renata first about this. So do you see AI as a tool primarily for efficiency or also for improving the passenger experience, like an AI agent inside of an app that gives real-time information to a customer? I think you already touched a little bit upon this, but it would be nice to answer the question.
Yes, thank you for the question. Yes, I think the AI comes into both mentioned parts, because we are trying, for example, in BUSE, we are trying how the AI works if we put the AI into our softwares, and we are testing it very deeply, and we are seeing the great progress, how the AI helps to make the work much more easier. So yes, to the question, for both, and especially it makes the AI helps to make the systems more efficient.
Mm-hmm. And Tamás, your answer to this question would be?
Yeah, I think the AI will be very, very useful for this kind of applications, because as it is in the question, is the most important the passenger experience. So if we can help the passengers with the AI or with any other tool or applications to use more public transport and make the public transport better for them, that is the crucial and the most important question. So I agree totally, like this is important, and that is why we are working on this solution to implement the AI into our softwares.
Perfect, thank you. So, but now I would like to come to the topic of infrastructure and policy developments. Lukáš, maybe start with you. Obviously, as an association, you represent the industry in front of the government, in front of policymakers. So I'd like to divide the question into two parts. First of all, how effective are already the current government subsidy programs in Czech Republic? But also we have a question coming in from one of our participants. Which policy changes or incentives do you believe are urgently needed to scale up the bus infrastructure in Czech Republic, in Hungary? So of course for you, Czech Republic.
Okay, from charging infrastructure, it's under Ministry of Transportation. It's from OPD3, but the main issue is that it's for the trucks. Yeah, it's for the public charging for the trucks, and there is no initiative for the public charging, for example, on the coaches or another buses. Except modernization fund, which is for the private charging infrastructure, and then some cities building actually the charging infrastructure in their depot and preparing infrastructure for the buses. But I see some potential if these programs could work together, because as private car can charge on the truck charging infrastructure because the connector is same. Very similar it could be in the bus charging infrastructure, because sooner or later some way of the charging on the way will be necessary, and in the speeds of the charging, which is starting be really in the standard of an MCS, very similar to charging of the diesel bus, then we will have I hope sooner or later, in time frame like 5 years, technology for the long haul coaches, which will need some ongoing charging infrastructure, which should be prepared, because it's very difficult to obtain megawatt speeds and megawatt powers on highway infrastructure, because there is no highway high voltage lines around the highway actually in Czech Republic. This means the support for the cities from Europe and from the modernization fund it's good, but still there is some limitations, and I think the Czech Republic and most of the cities telling that they will wait a little bit with the electrification, and they will work with the existing contracts till year 2030 or 2035, and after that they will swap for the electric, which is pity, but it's lack of support from the Czech side. I think Ministry of Regional Development trying to support them, but a lot of these bus operators works all their life with the diesel buses, and any changes to the electric propulsion is about some trust and some historical not good experience with the early buses in 2000, for example, 12, where it was total different story in the battery size, weight, capacity, reliability than are today's batteries and today's systems.
Which policy changes or incentives do you see, Zoltán, which are urgently needed in Hungary?
I would say there are some different levels. Just briefly, I'm going to speak about national level. I'm going to speak about, let's say, the level of the city public transportation, and also the operators, bus operators. So there are 3 levels, in my opinion, and all parts of this topic must be improved also in Hungary in order to increase the number of fully electric buses in our cities. First of all, as I already mentioned, that Hungary is still importing the electricity, and the government and the Hungarian nation wants to develop, let's say, our own supply, and therefore the nuclear power station capacity will be enlarged. So there is a concrete plan, and next coming years, in 5-6 years, we can expect the double of this energy what we can generate in Hungary. It's needed to increase, because we don't have any other choice if we want to have a more environment-friendly public transportation, but not also for this purpose, but AI and so on other fields are also need much bigger volume of the energy. Of course, we need to have the subventions and financial funds for these things to subsidy the changes. This is the national level. And as for the cities regards, the public transportation are organized by these companies, and they are responsible for the capacities. They are responsible for the technology. They can have some initiatives and goals in the different cities how to improve the public transportation for the local community. They are having some responsibility, and of course the operators, bus operators, they are having also some responsibility in this case, because the desirable route plans for the passengers and also the reliable bus fleets are also a must-have category in order to make a popularity of the full electric buses. I can say some negative things what we have to avoid in Hungary. Usually I'm, let's say, traveling a lot and talking to the bus operators in a city, in other countries. I don't want to mention the name, just an example, putting here to this topic. They bought 16 full electric buses, but they are constantly standing on their yards because the energetic infrastructure is missing. So if we want to have a smarter developments and more efficient public transportation, we have to concentrate all parts of this improvement program. So first, the energy infrastructure and charging infrastructure, the available financial funds, and also the adaptation to these changes, the route plans, and the reliable bus fleets.
Thank you so much for giving this this really good and structured answer. Is there anyone else who would like to contribute to this question? Tamás, Renata?
Yeah, from IT company perspective, I think our duty or task is to support the authorities, the public transport operators with real-time data and measure data, and based on the data, they can make the policy changes and all the appropriate actions. So that is why we have developed our onboard system on that way to collect every data. Like we can analyze the fuel and the battery usage, we can analyze the driver behavior, the routes, the positions, the daytime, depending on the passenger load and different outside conditions. So I think our task is to provide the data for decision making.
So what I've learned, or Renata, would you like to say something? Or are you fine? You're still on mute. You're still on mute, Renata.
Sorry, I absolutely agree what Tamás said, and the situation in BUSE is the same.
Okay, perfect. So what I've learned is, obviously, when it comes to sustainable mobility, you always have to divide a little bit between rural areas, between urban areas. I'd also like to see, like, what about structurally weaker regions? Renata, maybe a question to you. What would you say, in your opinion, what additional measures would help those structurally weaker regions to adapt also some sustainable mobility solutions? Because money is often then short because we need money, which we learn to make a sustainable mobility future. But what would help?
Yes, I think all what was mentioned during our session, our conversation, everything must be adopted, every efficient system, great infrastructure. But if you are asking me, in my opinion, we can have all of this, but in our society, the most valuable is time. All is about time, and we all do want to work and operate our daily routines, our time as much as effectively as we can. If you are a passenger and if you do come to the bus stop station and you know that the bus won't come in another 30 minutes, you won't be using it. But if you come there and you know no matter where you go, the bus will come in 10 minutes and you are very quickly getting from place A to place B, you'll be using, and I am the part of this second group. If I will know that I come to bus station and the bus I can very fastly just drop into the vehicles and I can go, I will be using it. And in those weaker regions, we need the passengers. The passengers, we have enough passengers in big cities, but I think this is the most what I would like to add. If there is anything what can help in those weaker regions, have more and more passengers, and to make the public transport attractive for them, so they will be using it instead of using cars.
Yeah, I think that is really the big challenge. Coming from a very small town in Germany, I know exactly how it is. I mean, you're happy if a bus comes twice a day or something, and then of course you're going to use the car. But this is, I think, essential to really change towards a sustainable future. I would like to say to the audience, if you have some more questions, keep them coming now before we get to our final question rounds here. So yeah, if you have some more questions, just please put them in the place provided here on the landing page. Tamás, one more thing talking about governments and policy support. How important would you say is for national but also for regional governments to align their strategies with the goals of the public and private transport companies?
Yeah, this is, I think, a very important thing to align their strategy. So this question could be investigated from different angles, like regulations, policies, financial perspective, and so on. And from my seat, from my viewpoint of view, as I mentioned before, our main duty is to provide such systems for the different parties and provide real-time data where they can make a decision, they can make a strategy. And then, of course, it's very important to have an opportunity where the authorities, the operators, and the developers can sit together on a table and can discuss with an open mind the different ideas, issues, potential solutions, keeping in focus only one thing, the passenger. Of course, there are many things, but everything is starting and ending up with the passenger and the passenger experience.
We have another question coming in. So from your perspective, what changes are needed at the EU level to better support the developments of bus-based public transport in Central but also in Eastern Europe? Zoltán, would you like to start?
So I would like to avoid any political things, but so I would like to wish that EU is really supporting this transformation of the public transportation, and they are having long-term the initiatives into this way. So that's my, let's say, wish from EU to really stand for these necessary changes, because I believe in this, let's say, public transportation, which is more modern and more environment friendly. But this is not a personal matter. The governments from this region must cooperate also with EU how to, let's say, execute on a national level these things. And if the funds are available, of course, we have a lot of homeworks and we have lots different things to do and to implement and change. But the funds are a must have. Otherwise, we will have a much bigger difference between the western part of Europe and eastern part of Europe. Because if you analyze the penetration of full electric buses, at the moment or currently UK is on the top, and just The top three is Holland, Dutch, and also Germany, and other countries are much more having, let's say, this penetration, much higher penetration. In Hungary, we are still on the back of this long list.
Yeah, I understand, of course, and I can only say from my experience what a big difference it makes to the cities, definitely. So I hope there's going to be a lot of change still. Who else would like to answer this question in the panel? I would like to give the question to you, to the panel. Nobody wants to get involved in EU level policy making. That's totally fine for now. Well, coming anyways to an end of our time for today, I would like to ask the final question to all of you. It's the same question, and I would like to look into the future with you. We already heard quite a lot about future of mobility, but being our topic today, the future of sustainable drives in the bus industry, I would like to know your final vision for 2030, which is not too far in the future, but also above, if you like. I would like to start, Renata, with you, if you're fine with that. What's your final vision?
Our final vision in the next 4 years is to have more satisfied customers, satisfied passengers, but the customers at this moment, I can see they have a very different demands of how the onboard system, all the passenger information system should work. So if I could add something, I would be very happy if this area could be somehow unified, because it is very hard for us to do every demand which comes up. So, and this will bring us a lot of opportunities how to work more and more efficiently. But I'm very looking forward to next 4 years what the future will bring us, and I hope everybody who's using our systems is satisfied, will be satisfied. So yes, we are very happy in what we are doing.
A positive outlook, which is always nice. Lukáš, what would you say? What is your final vision for 2030 and above?
2030, it's in 5 years. That means enough time to make, for example, modular system along all European bus manufacturer to be able to use similar battery technologies and easy to swap them during the operation or just during the service. That is our priority for now, including some cooperation with the European Commission to achieve this goal. Very similar tasks are now made in the passenger cars, especially the small cars, because there is a system which called chocolate, which means you have the 3 slots in your car. 1 slot is occupied with your battery, and 2 slots are occupied with batteries, which you can swap on the way, and then you can go to the sea holidays, to the Mediterranean Sea, for example, 1,000 kilometers, technically without any extra stop, because the battery swapping is 2-3 minutes technology, and this technology can really easily enable the coach long haul bus trips. And same way in the city transport can deliver the solar energy to our buses and avoid any new cancer and any asthma and another health problems for the people who have to breathe the fumes from the fossil engines, and especially diesel ones. That means I hope the future will be cleaner with no pollution in air, and from last my wish will be that if operators, bus operators, will have good experience with the passenger with the private cars, which is electric, they will start trust to the electric buses more, and they will be not afraid of good plans and future plans with this technology, and complex plans, including the smaller buses, which can operate autonomously without driver, and mainly on demand as demand responsive transport. This is my look for the next 5 years.
Very good. Thank you so much, Lukáš. Yeah, it would be nice to go to the Mediterranean Sea just with no stop, basically. Nice vision, definitely. Well, in IT, 5 years are basically nothing. A lot can change in 5 years in IT, or not? Tamás, what would you say? What is your final vision?
I think in IT there is a change in every day. So telling something 5 years time forward, it's very hard. But let's say if we are talking about visions, then my vision could be how can we support from IT side in 5 years time the different new type of pilot projects in the public transport industry. Let's say like autonomous driving, as Lukáš also mentioned, just in a different context. Like how can we support the autonomous driving, and hopefully with this the buses will be more on time. So this is one vision. Of course, as an IT company, we have lots of visions, because without vision we cannot live day by day. Because if we don't have a vision what to innovate, then we cannot live.
Last but not least, I think without Zoltán, I think you're the last one, right? Or did I miss anyone else? No, perfect. Okay, Zoltán, your final vision, your final words.
Final vision for 2030 first. So 5 years can be considered as a quite nice time and long time period, but I'm afraid that we cannot reach, let's say, the EU initiatives or goals, and the industry cannot be changed so rapidly as we expected before. So that's my more realistic vision for 2030. And as the bus industry regards, I would say that I can imagine a mixture. I mean that still we have to live together with the diesel buses because this transformation is not so fast as we expected, and there is no new technology that can change the diesel buses, this old type of consumption, bus type of technology. And mixture will be that full electric buses, hydrogen, and still the diesel buses can be found on the bus fleets. And what for the products and what for the components regards, I would expect a much bigger step, because the bus manufacturers, in cooperation with the suppliers and supply chain, we can really radically improve the quality, lowering the bus weights, using the composites and more modern materials, using the AIs and using, let's say, the latest state-art of technology. So in my opinion, 2030, we can have a much better situation than today.
Perfect. Thank you so much for answering, of course, this last question, but also all the questions. Thank you so much to our 4 panelists here on this stop of the roadshow, giving your thoughts on our topic, the future of sustainable drives in the bus industry. Thank you for your insights. I have to say, I've learned a lot, especially about Hungary, about Czech Republic, about the situation there. Thank you. I will definitely drive by bus differently now and look at all the different signs, and hope that it always comes on time and gives a good experience. But I think we have a lot of changes and a bright future in front of us. I thank you as an audience as well for giving all the questions here to our panelists, for asking so many questions and being very interactive. Thank you. I hope you also took away a lot of insights from today's live stream. And with this, I would like to say thank you and goodbye, and give back to the international representative of Messe Berlin, to Tunde, for the closing words. Thank you.
Now, as the last program of the BUS2BUS Roadshow, we would like to show you a film about the trade show to get an impression about the event, and we are looking forward to meet you in Berlin in 2026 in April. Have a nice day.